Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 21 of Dangerously Smart, back from technical difficulty. The technical difficulty strikes back. I'll be your host today. My name is Sylvester. Who's this young man next to me?
Oh, it's your boy Glenn. What's going on, people?
Hey, Glenn, what's your Instagram? Do you know it by heart?
My Instagram is at BigBuford4, which is the same as my Xbox gamer tag.
Nice. My Twitter is at basically ace. Hit us up, and we'll say our Dangerously Smart is at the Dangerously Smart. That's smart without the A, 314. That's our Twitter, and our Instagram is just Dangerously Smart. Hit us up, show us some love. We love you. Anyways, thank you guys for checking out episode 21. It's an exciting time to be alive right now. Some cool stuff we want to talk about. But before we get into all that, there's a missing person. Mike is out of commission today, so me and Glenn are gonna keep it going. Please hit us up. Show us some love. Tell us what you think. We love feedback. Glenn, you want to get right into it?
Um, Not yet. What you been up to?
I want to skip that this time. Same old, same old.
Okay.
Yep, same old,
Yeah,
same old. A lot of good deals going on. So I just picked up Devil May Cry, the remake DMC for
nice.
18 bucks.
Eight,
Um,
18 bucks.
18 bucks. It's on sale on Xbox Live, well, Xbox One right now for 18 bucks, and it's the remastered version on Xbox One. But I got this from GameFly for 18 bucks. So yeah, I think what I'm gonna do this year, instead of like getting a whole bunch of, because usually every year around this time of year I get all the big games around launch time, and truthfully I don't really beat them a lot of times. Like by the time I get around to beating them, the games are like $5-10. So what I'm gonna do is try to check out some of these older games that I missed out on. There's still a bunch in my queue that I have to check out and get my cheap on this year.
Yeah, I'm
How
gonna
about
do the same.
how about you, Glenny? What's going on in your world?
Not much. Pretty much. So it's working. Trying to beat some of these games before the onslaught of October
Yeah,
and November occurs.
right.
Now,
I'm
what I'm
still.
going to do, huh?
Oh, go ahead.
Now, what I'm going to do this year is pretty much kind of like what you are. I'm actually going to wait until Target does their typical buy two get one free
Yeah,
I'm really because all the games I have bought every game that came out last year
yeah, me too.
on launch day,
Right.
and it was kind of stupid because I'm paying $60 for a box that's just sitting there with a
Right.
disc. So I'm going to stop buying all these games on launch day because I'm not going to be able to play them all. Like Fallout, that's enough to keep me entertained by itself.
Right.
Plus Halo, just those two right there. That's all I really need. Then Tomb Raider, then Star Wars. I'm not going to be able to play all those games. And these are like really lengthy games that will just go on and on and on. And I'm thinking about jumping back into Destiny.
You
So,
should. It's pretty great.
so yeah, there's no point in me buying all those games I'm not going to play.
Yeah, I was thinking like, how many times you play Skylanders? I think you played it once, right?
Which, well, okay, the Skylanders Swap Force, I played and beat that one. Skylanders Trap Team, I bought that day after Thanksgiving from Best Buy, and I still have not played it.
Not played it once.
Not once.
Wow, that's crazy.
I have not played it once. It's still sitting there. Only
That's
thing I did, I put the disc in because I thought I was gonna play it. I downloaded the game. Then by the time I got done downloading, I was like, you know what? I think I want to play Dragon Age again. And then I just never played it. I still haven't beat
crazy.
Sunset Overdrive or
That's
any
a
of
good
the.
game. Not that long either. You should play that.
Yeah, I want to get back on that, but yeah, like I said, I'm just gonna buy. I think I'm just gonna go with Halo, Star Wars, and Tomb Raider,
Hmm.
and then just wait for everything else.
Yeah, I can't talk. I got Disney Infinity last year. I did the same thing, buy two get one free. Except I did both Amazon's buy two get one free and Target's buy two get one free.
Dang.
Because yeah, I went ham, and yeah, so I did that, and I played Disney Infinity 2.0 once. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna slow down a little bit this year. Try to take it one game at a time because it gets so overwhelming. And a lot of these games nowadays, they're designed to kind of be replayed over and over and over. Like Destiny, with the updates, I kind of just want to go in and make a third character and kind of start it over from scratch because I'm really enjoying. Because I don't even have the Taken King, but the 2.0 expansion they did just made it such a better game, like so much better. Um, I could go an hour about how much better it is, but it's just a better game. I would definitely say if you played it and didn't like it, or maybe got bored with it, I would definitely suggest giving it another shot. You can pick up Destiny now. I think I saw it for 17.99 on Amazon a few weeks ago, and that's just the Destiny without all the DLC. So if you want to give it a second chance, and you got a few bucks to spend, that's not bad. Um, but yeah, I'm with you. We got to save some money this year. We got some big plans ahead of us.
There we do.
Yeah. Did you speaking of saving money though? Did you want to get into these dangerous deals?
Ah, yeah, nice segue.
Mm, I practice. Um, so Amazon Prime has a deal going on, right? Well, Amazon has a deal going on the Amazon Prime, which, by the way, is awesome. If you don't have that, you should have it. It gives you free shipping on orders over what 25, I think.
Actually, less than that because I buy a lot of stuff for like $5, $10. Like I had just bought a travel charger for $6.99, and that was free shipping. And I
Wow.
actually, while looking at the while looking up dangerous deals, I actually bought a power bank for $9.99, and that was free shipping. So that'll be here Saturday.
Yeah, I think it's anything marked, Prime eligible, which is like most of the stuff on the site. You see a
Yeah.
lot of those Funko Pops that can be like $13 or under, and those would be like, free shipping. So that's a good deal. Not only do you get the free shipping. Oh, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Now I was gonna say the other amazing thing about Amazon Prime that I do like, as far as being a gamer, a lot of the games they are discounted day one sometimes,
Yes, that's true.
and also you will get the game the day it comes out if you order it online.
Pre-order it ahead of time. Like you can't pre-order it the day before and expect to get day one release. You have to pre-order it like months ahead of time. Like I might get Rock Band because they have the Amazon has a pre-order bonus where you get 32 songs for free if you pre-order it. So I'm like, ooh, should I get that? But if I do need to get that, I need to pre-order that soon because it's coming out October 6th. So it's not on everything, but usually if you pre-order ahead of time, like a week in advance, you usually get that day one delivery. Um, Also, they have their Amazon Prime TV, which is a pretty good alternative to Netflix. Netflix you pay a monthly fee for. This is a yearly fee. I pay 100. You guys will have the opportunity to pay 67. There's a lot of good original content on there, and a lot of classic shows too. Commercial free, which is surprising because Hulu has commercials.
Not
uh,
anymore. Now, if you pay extra, you can not get the
11.99.
commercials.
Right,
But
11.99. That's pretty good.
here's the other thing I wanted to point out about Amazon Prime. As far as the videos go, you get Batman the animated series, which is amazing, all of it. There's some Airbender on there, some Korra on there. You get a lot of the old school Nickelodeon stuff, like all the stuff that's going to come on Splat, which
Right.
I'm kind of wondering if they're going to take it off Amazon because of that. But they have Rocco, Rugrats, Doug, all of it on there right now, and Our Real Monsters. So, not to mention the original content. And the reason that Prime is doing this deal is that they have a show called Transparent, which is one of the original shows. And this past weekend, it was the 67th Emmy Awards. And I think Transparent was nominated for 11 awards and took home five. So, in
Okay.
honor of that, they're giving you this deal for tomorrow only, September 25th. Well, today
Today.
only, of September 25th for $67 in honor of the 67th Emmys.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, I think they did that last year when they won the Emmy too. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. Definitely worth it. So yeah, that's Dangerous Deal numero uno. Also, there's a site called Megamax. I've been following them for a long time. They are a respected retailer. So what they do is they refurbish Macintosh products. I think they have a few non-Apple products too, but they're mostly known for refurbishing Apple products and selling them. So right now they've got a deal going on two very popular um, Macintosh. One is the iMac. I don't remember the year, but it's got pretty decent specs. Specs. iMac with the Core 2 Duo 2.6 gigahertz. Thing about Macs, they're not beastly. It's all about the software. And even if you have like an old Mac, it's still going to perform pretty well. And this is only 300 bucks. That's the lowest I've ever seen this particular Mac. Also, there is the Power Mac, not the latest circular black one. That one is awesome, but it's like the Xeon dual core MacBook Pro, only 350. I posted the links on our Twitter, and it's also going to be on our Facebook soon. So check it out. Megamax is a pretty good retailer too, so they get my they get my approval. I've been following them for a long time, and they're respected. Anything you want to add
Cool.
before I move on?
No, not at all, sir.
Oh, okay. Next is free music. Pink Floyd's "Wish You Were Here" album is free on Google Play, so definitely check that out. Who doesn't love free music? Also, Newegg via eBay is selling refurbished Xbox Ones with the Kinect for $299. The deal is fairly new. They've only sold 41 so far. It's on eBay. So go to our Facebook or Twitter. I think that's the only place we can put this stuff and check it out. Not bad for Microsoft refurbished Xbox One with the Kinect. Not bad at all. If people pay that much for Xbox without the Kinect, so pretty good. What else do we have? Do we have anything else? That's it, right?
Yep, that's pretty much it.
Yep, that is it. Um, yeah. So hit us up. Did you want to get into some tech news, or did you want to fancily segue into
I want to get in some tech news, good sir.
it? Go ahead, take it away.
All right, so I would like to talk about. Well, the first thing I wanted to talk about was the BlackBerry. BlackBerry is coming out with a new phone,
Hmm.
and it's going to have Android on it. This one is going to be. This one so far is called the Priv. It still has a keyboard on it, a physical keyboard that you can touch. I don't know too much about this phone right now because it's pretty much a prototype image. We don't even know if that's how it's going to look. But yeah, looks like BlackBerry's still not out of the race yet.
Yeah, just I didn't read the article you read, but this is announced a few weeks ago. Um, Interesting thing about that is it has the Amazon Marketplace in lieu of the BlackBerry Marketplace.
Really?
So yeah, so you can download your apps via Amazon, which is interesting. Personally, I think the more competition, the better. The more people, the more hands are in that box, the more people are going to stay on their toes. That's why I kind of hope Amazon comes out with another phone. Even though the Fire Phone wasn't a very big success, they were one of the few people to actually think outside the box and do something new. So I'm all for a BlackBerry trying again. It's a pretty smooth phone. Like if you look at it, it's got a nice rounded display. It's got a physical keyboard, but you have to swipe it up to get to the physical keyboard. It's pretty sexy. I like it. Actually, this one actually has the Google Marketplace on it too. Interesting. Hmm.
Cool. Speaking of phones and competition,
Hmm.
so I didn't know about this, but apparently Sprint is doing an iPhone for life thing. I had saw
Oh
the
yeah,
commercial for it.
yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah. It's kind of weird too because they announced that before Apple announced their little iPhone replacement thing. So I wonder how that's going to work out for them because you remember Apple during their event, they said if you give them $35 a month, you get Apple Care, and they'll give you a new iPhone every year. And now Sprint has the iPhone for life thing. A lot of this is a nice trend going in America because for the longest time, American carriers you'd be stuck with your phone for 2 years, and now for some reason, a lot of carriers they they want you to switch every year, which is different because like in Canada, there's not a lot of 2 year plans. Usually, you sign for I mean you sign up, you sign up for a year or a year and a half. So that's cool. I'm all for you know new upgrades, even though I just signed a 2 year contract with the Galaxy S5. Mm. I mean not Galaxy S5, Galaxy Note 5. Sorry.
How you liking it?
Oh yeah, I love it. Only problem I'm having with it, as you know, when people call me sometimes, I don't. It has some problems, but I think that's either my device or my location because like I'll get a call and I'll be like, "Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?" Um, so far so good though. I'm very in love with the screen. And when we were in Atlanta, uh, our pictures were on point because he has the Galaxy S6 Edge, which has the same camera as the Galaxy Note 5. So both of our pictures were just they were
You're
on
coming
point.
in a little low.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me better now?
Yep.
Our pictures were quite good in Atlanta. That's all I'll
Yeah.
say about that. The camera's awesome.
Yeah, it is an amazing camera. I love it.
Yeah, and that's surprising coming from you because you came from the HTC One with the Ultra Pixel. I figured you'd love that Ultra Pixel and wouldn't want to move on.
I did, but for some reason this is better. I don't know if it's the lens that they used or what, but or it's just the flash, but it's something about this camera that's better than the HTC One, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah. I mean, a lot of tech pundits agree with you. I mean, that's one thing I keep hearing. It's the best camera, on mobile phones right now. That and the LG G4, G4. They say both of those have the best cameras. There's strengths and weaknesses to them. I'm not as big of a camera geek as you can be, so I'm sure you can go circles around me about how good it is and all the aperture and all that crap. I just take pictures and I'm like, ooh, pretty.
All right, so there's something I did want to talk about. Pebble came out of nowhere, like a RKO with this Pebble Time. I'm sorry, it's called the Pebble Time Round. Like I was amazed when I saw it because I didn't even see this coming. There was no teaser trailer, no there was no warning. I just got on the internet and saw Pebble Time Round. I thought it was probably something from the Onion when I saw it, but sure enough, I was like, okay, it's on the Verge, it's on Engadget, it's real.
Right.
So, with that being said, the Pebble Time Round, it's in the name. It's a round watch face, which is a little different than their typical square.
Nice.
I personally myself had the Pebble Time, and I really like it. I just got a notification, and I really like this watch. Even if I had the opportunity to Apple Watch or any other Android watch, I probably
Hmm.
wouldn't do it because I'm attached to this watch. I
Right.
like it a lot. Now the battery life is amazing because, for instance, we were in Atlanta. You had to charge your watch how many times?
I charge it every day. I can go 2 days without it, but I just instinctually charge it every night.
Yeah,
So
I
I
could
can
go up.
go every other day, but yours go. I didn't think you really had to charge it once while we were out there. We were out there 7 days.
Yeah, so I didn't have to charge it, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty
So
good. It's that e-ink
yeah,
display, baby.
and the other thing I like about this watch is I discovered this watch face generator to where you can make your own custom watch face. So I can make a dangerously smart watch face because my
Nice.
boy had one that he made. I was like, "Where'd you get that from?" And he said, "I made it." And I was like, "You can do stuff like that?" He's like, "No." And I got on it last night and I messed around with it. It's pretty cool. And we'll be making a dangerously smart watch face.
Nice. Too bad we can't sell them.
So this watch is $249, so it's $50 more than the Pebble Time. Since it's a lot thinner, it's 7.5 millimeters thick, and because of that, it has less battery life. But the thing about this one, if you charge it, you could get it. You could charge it for 15 minutes to get 24 hours out of it, which I think is pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yep. So I showed it to a few people at work because a lot of people at work they have the Pebble Time and the regular Pebble, and they're thinking about getting the Pebble Round because they didn't know anything about it. And I showed it to them, and they like it. So I think a lot of people are going to get on this watch. Now, this watch is meant to be more of a fashion accessory than a smartwatch. Granted, it's still thing as the Pebble Time. It just looks sleek, like something that would be at Paris Fashion Week or something.
Yeah, I definitely like before I got into like the whole smartwatch thing. I was one of those guys. Like this is an Armani watch right here. So I definitely have a pretty decent watch collection. Um, so something like that is a great look for Pebble because no offense to Pebble, I think they definitely have interesting products, and from what I hear, they have the best app store, but their watch is look plastic and like toys to me. So the Pebble Round is awesome because like it's actual. It looks like something I will actually want to wear. It's got a nice look to it. So yeah, I love it. I was actually kind of contemplating like, ooh, should I get that? Because I need to switch it out. I have a first generation LGG watch, which still works like a pro. I got my little Pac-Man watch right here. Um, but I've been thinking about switching it out just because I don't know, this is first generation and I want something new. And that's a good option. That's something I'm contemplating, especially with all the new Android watches coming out. Oh, speaking of which, quick segue. I don't know if we talked about this last week or not, but Android released their Android Wear app for Apple devices now. So if you have an Apple device, you can actually buy an Android Wear device. You won't get the full functionality that you would have with an Android phone, but most of it works fine.
Cool. Yeah, so I think you should get the Pebble Time round. It's a nice watch, and
Yeah,
they make good products.
I'll be contemplating it. When I hear from what I hear, they have the best marketplace because the thing about Android Wear, as much potential as it has, it's all potential right now. Because like the Swarm app that I have for mine is just like Glenn checked in. It doesn't let me check in. You know what I mean? Whereas Glenn, he can check into Swarm on his app. I mean on his watch. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the apps that they make for the Pebble just make more sense. Whereas Android Wear is really good for push notifications. It'll be like, hey, you got an email. You know what I mean? I'm sure there will be ups and downs of no matter what I do, but it's something I'll be contemplating. But there is that awesome what is that? The Samsung Galaxy Gear S2 that I'm looking at.
Oh
That
yeah, I
looks
like that
sexy.
watch.
Yeah, and I want to pay for something with my watch. That would be awesome. Anyways, continue. What's next on the docket?
All right, so up next, TBS is going to broadcast esports next year,
Crazy, right? That came out of nowhere.
like RKO.
Right. Of all the companies that I mean, of all the channels that would get into that, I definitely wouldn't have thought it would be TBS. But I mean, that's interesting. It's a step in the right direction. Would you watch that, Glenn?
Yeah, I would just to see what it's about.
Really? So, like, you'll watch like Dota, because you know it's gonna be stuff like that, the stuff that gets a lot of hits on Twitch and whatnot. So it'd probably be like Dota and Hearthstone and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean because like the thing is like not to get back on the whole Jimmy Kimmel thing, but I actually don't mind getting on Twitch and watching some stuff. Like if I just want to kill some time, or if I'm just chilling out and really don't feel like playing the game, I'll just get on Twitch and just watch people play Destiny. For instance, prime example, how I was talking about getting back into Destiny.
Hmm.
What made me want to get back into Destiny was getting on Twitch, watching them play it. I was like, okay, this is much better than when I was playing it. Me and you first got it. So after watching them play it and seeing the weapons and how good it looked, I was like, okay, I think I want to get back on Destiny because of Twitch.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I say about Twitch too, like if I'm interested in a game, Twitch is an awesome way to check it out. Because the thing about a demo is it's something that the creators created for you to give you what they think the experience would be like. You know what I mean? Whereas
Right.
I can just watch somebody play the real game. So there's been a lot of times where I would sit back and watch somebody play something on Twitch, and that would be like the deciding factor of whether or not I get it. I think that's how I end up getting. What's that game that you we were just talking about? It's from the Insomniac games, Sunset
Oh,
Overdrive.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I end up getting Sunset Overdrive because I was watching Twitchers play it and I was like, oh, I really like this. This seems like something interesting. Um, I'm trying to stay away from Forza 6 Twitch because uh, I'm a Forza fan. um, continue. Anything else?
but but yeah, they're going to film it in Atlanta. So that's where this will be taking place. And who knows? Maybe I might go down there. Well, we might go down there one day and just see it live.
Or host it live?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
um, what else? What else is on the docket?
Um, this very expensive smartphone.
Yeah, yeah. Did you want to talk about it? Go ahead.
Yes, it's the Virtues Posh, I think. Whatever. What is this phone even called? I don't know what the phone is called because I don't plan on getting it. But this thing is expensive. It's $9,900 for a phone,
Yep.
and I am amazed by this. But here's the cool thing about it, though, that I really like. You can expand it up to 2 terabytes. That's insane.
Yeah, that's crazy. But
Yeah,
the LG G4 is the same, by the way.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
That is news to me.
The thing about it, that's just marketing though, because I don't think they made a 2 terabyte SD SD micro SD yet, have they? I know they made a 1 terabyte, but I don't think they made a 2 terabyte yet, have they?
Well, the thing is, apparently with this one, um, I think you could put a couple of SD cards in there or something.
I think it has dual what is that? SIM cards? Yeah, it has a dual SIM tray, but I don't think it has. I don't know. We should do more research. Anyways, the point I always, because this isn't the first expensive Android device. Lamborghini has their own Android phone. It's really expensive as well. A lot of companies do this kind of luxury Android phone thing, and they oftentimes put like enhanced security on top of it too, because rich people have to have their privacy. But the thing that I always point out about these expensive devices, to someone that's rich, $10,000 is a lot of money. It's just like us paying $200 for a phone upgrade. So yeah, it's expensive to me and you, but I'm sure Two Chains could afford it.
Two phones. We gotta have that in the iPhone.
Right.
Yeah, so that's pretty much all I have for tech news. Unless you had anything else, Brandon, you want to kind of throw in there?
Oh, I want to talk about the Oculus.
Okay.
Um, so Samsung partnered with Oculus again for their Gear VR. Because one thing, so I just picked up a Note 5, right? And
Right.
I was interested in getting the Gear VR that they made for the last Note, but they didn't have any specification as to whether or not it will work on the Galaxy Note 5. So I was like, well, I'm not going to take the risk and buy this thing and it doesn't work. So they lately announced the new Gear VR, which is going to work for not only the Note, but it's also going to work for the Galaxy S6, the Galaxy S6 Edge, the Galaxy S6 Edge Plus, and the Note 5 Edge as well. And unlike most VR experiences, this is really affordable. It's only $100. It's 22% lighter, and it's coming out in November. I want to check it out. I'm curious. I want to see what this whole VR thing is about, and for what I was watching on Unbox Therapy, it it's apparently really good. So I want to see what all the hype is about.
Cool.
Yep. Other than that, you have something about no disc DLC on here. Oh, that should be gaming news. Never mind. Continue.
So yeah, speaking of gaming news, let's hop right on into it. So there's a lot of gaming news going on. One thing I want to talk about, which should be a segment. It should be called like DLC Weekly or something. But it's because there's always something going on with DLC every week.
Right.
And Capcom, once again, is at the top of it. So apparently, they're so bad with DLC that they have to promise people that, yeah, we're not going to have DLC already on the disc on the game that you purchase, and we're going to make you pay for the additional stuff that's on the disc already. Now, I did not know about this, but apparently that happened with Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
Yeah, they had it with
And also, I remember.
Oh, continue.
And so you said what?
Remember, some of the characters were Vita exclusive, so you had to wait for the Vita version to drop, which came out months later, and then you could buy the characters on Xbox 360 and PS3.
What?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah. Those exclusivity deals or something, aren't they? I bought it
Yeah,
on
and then so
eBay
the other.
because I'm smart.
So here's the other thing that happened. Oh, that's another game that I bought and never played.
Really? That's
But
a good game.
anyway, I got it off of GameFly, so I only paid like $10 for that thing or something.
Yeah,
But
not too bad. Check it
anyway,
out.
I remember this happening with Resident Evil 6,
Hmm.
or was it 5? It was one of the Resident Evil 5 or 6, to where the multiplayer mode that you had to pay $5 for was on a disc because it was like a 1 kilobyte file once you had paid the $5
I
to
think
get it. And it was like that was just a text file.
I think like it was just a mode in multi because multiplayer was free, but you had to like unlock raid mode. I think for $5. I think I remember that.
Regardless, it was something that was on a disc that you already paid for that you had to pay extra to get.
Right.
And and I just feel like I get cheated sometimes. Like every time I hear about DLC, like, okay, the game comes out in a month, and now you're talking about DLC, and the game's not even out yet.
Well,
That's what kind of gets me.
to play devil's advocate on that, I'll definitely say this: if you wait too long to talk about DLC, then people won't care by the time you talk about it. Because I remember Bioshock Infinite came out, and I bought the season pass when I bought the game because I was like Infinite, right? But what Bioshock did was they did it right. They waited until after the game was done and released before they worked on the DLC. And then by the time the DLC came out, which was almost a year later, um, people didn't really care that much. Like I played episode one of the DLC, but I didn't even play episode two because I had already traded in my 360. Um, so yeah, I understand how a lot of people feel because there's a lot of other people talking about this on podcasts too, where they say they don't like DLC or they're not a fan of DLC and how it works in the season pass before it comes out. I forgot what game that is. Some game. Oh, Bethesda. They just announced that they're gonna have for the first time ever Fallout 4 is gonna have a season pass you can buy on day one, and that's gonna have all the DLC that ever comes out for Fallout in it. At least that's what they said in the press release. But the
Is
thing
there a
is,
price on it?
no price yet. At least I
Okay.
don't think there is. Don't quote me on that. I'm sure it's probably 30 or less, maybe. Sometimes they go 40 if they want to get greedy. Batman Arkham Asylum.
Speaking of that, that DLC just came out,
Yeah.
and it's actually on sale now on both PlayStation and Xbox. It's a little 7 on Xbox right now.
Yeah, that is a good deal, right?
So, so I'm thinking about getting it. Thinking about it.
I haven't heard good things about the DLC, but nobody covers DLC like they should as far as reviews. Like the Taken King is the most comprehensive review you'll find of downloadable content.
Yeah,
Like, nobody
it could,
reviews DLC anymore because it's not new, I guess.
yeah, that DLC is kind of like a game.
Well, from what I hear, it's small. Like, remember, did you pre-ordered Arkham Origins? I mean Arkham Knight, right?
Yeah.
So did you get the GameStop exclusive mission?
Did I? Yeah, yeah, I did. I did.
Okay, and you can beat that whole campaign in like 15, 20 minutes, right? Did you beat it yet?
I haven't even played it.
Well, I got the Amazon exclusive one, which is a Harley Quinn thing, right? And I could beat that in like 15 minutes. And I watched a Game Over Greggy um, walkthrough of it where they went through the GameStop exclusive one, and it only took them like 15 minutes to get through it. So yeah, it's kind of interesting how. I mean, I don't know if that's what this downloadable content is going to be like, but for when I hear from fans just on Twitter and stuff like that, they say like it's small, but it's a lot of small packs though. So if you do get the season pass, it's not like you're just getting one or two packs. They say it's going to be like revolving content throughout the eh, rest of this year and I think up until the middle of next year. But I don't know. It has to be worthwhile. You got to give me hours of entertainment for me to get in on that.
Right.
Yep. Taken King is $40, by the way. That's freaking expensive.
Yeah, that it is. That's why I was saying the price is basically like a game.
Yeah, and you can't buy it. Well, you can't buy the disc by itself. You can buy it digitally for $40. But if you buy the disc, you're gonna get Destiny. That's why if you're thinking about getting Destiny, you should trade in your Destiny and get the Destiny Taken King because it's gonna come with the other two DLC packs. The ones that I have, it's House of Wolves and something else. So if you're contemplating getting Taken King, I
I
would.
probably didn't get that much for my game, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I still trade it in. Don't get me wrong, because there's no point in having two of the same game. But
Or you can just give it away. That's one of my favorite things to do. Like give people a game, especially something I got on like PlayStation Plus. Like here you go, free game.
good man.
Huh?
I said good man.
Oh, yep. Donate to the poor. I understand you wanted to talk about the games with gold games for October.
Yeah, I don't know what's out on the PlayStation. I think they're still voting for that.
Hmm.
But for the games with gold on Xbox One,
Hmm.
you're going to get The Walking Dead Season 1, which, by the way, is amazing. Like, I was on pins and needles playing that game. That game will take you on an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
Like, I was making some serious decisions playing that game. I was like, okay, do I want this person to die or this one? Do I want to go this way or that way? Like, everything felt like it counted. Like, every decision you made had a reaction. And that's what I liked about that game. Because there was one where you had to pick and choose, like, for instance, I'm not going to give any spoilers, but it was this girl and there was this guy. There was some shit going down. One of them was going to die. I had to determine which one. And then the one that I picked, everybody was like, oh, you just let her die or him die because of this and blah, blah, blah. So it was crazy.
Yeah.
And the other thing I like about the Walking Dead game that's pretty cool is like after you beat a particular portion of the game, it goes online and shows you how many people made this decision and how many people made the other decision. So I think that's kind of cool.
That is cool. And it's an easy platinum or 1,000 if you're interested in that.
Yeah, if you're a trophy hunter or achievement hunter like myself, it's an easy 1,000 points. But it's an amazing game. Like it has a lot of replay value, a lot of it. Oh,
Agreed.
and the other, I'm sorry.
I just said I agree. Go ahead.
Now the other Xbox game that's coming out is Valiant Hearts. That game looks like
It's a
it's
good
going to
game.
be. It is.
Yeah, it's a good game. You can check it out for free. They have like a free version on your phone if you have an iPhone or a Android device.
Really?
So yeah, check it out. It's really fun.
Yeah, I was looking forward to this game because I saw it when it was online when they were talking about it before it came out, but I just never got it. Now, the dates for that game, it's October 1st through 31st. You can get that game. The Walking Dead is available October 16th through November 15th. And as
Mm,
far as the Xbox 360, you get Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zero. That is
okay,
October 1st through the 15th. And you also get The Walking Dead Season 1 October 16th through the 31st on the 360.
nice. Yeah, so that's a full retail game that I mean, well, it's not really a well, when it came out, it sold as a full retail game. It's not really a full experience, but still a good deal for Xbox because you already if you have an Xbox, you gotta have Xbox Live. That Valiant Heart I got on PS4. That was a free game a few months ago. So you should have got it, Glenn, but you
I
probably
did
didn't.
get it. I just didn't play it.
Oh, you did
it
get it?
it's
Okay.
just a rainy day game. It's like if I feel like playing it, I eventually get on it.
It's fun. It's really good, and it tells a good story without talking. I like games like that sometimes that can tell you a good story without using voice work.
Believe it or not, I never really got into Metal Gear.
Man, I did. Whew. I've been a fan since PS1. I wish I could say I go back to like the old NES days because I do have those games, but I wasn't a big fan back then. I did play the old one on Game Boy Color though, Metal Gear Solid Ghost Babel, and that was my shit too. Big fan of Metal Gear Solid. Gotta check out Ground Zeroes. That's one of my buy two get one free games. Definitely going down.
Cool. You know what I'm a big fan of?
What?
Star Wars. October 8th. It's going to run for 5 days. And for those of you who care, it's not going to eat up your hard drive. It's only going to be 7 gigs on the PS4 and Xbox One, and it's going to be 11 gigs on the PC for
Nice.
those PC people.
And
Um,
I think there's a co-op level too, right?
yeah, there is. It's going to be a co-op level, and you're going to be able to play the full time. No, sorry, I said full time. 40 player
Mm,
Walker Assault mode, which is going to be cool.
right.
I'm really looking forward to that. And then there's another mode, Drop Zone, that's 16 people. It's kind of like a King of the Hill, and it's going to be a fun game.
Yeah. So while we're on the topic of this, I was listening to a podcast recently, and I didn't know that this game was going to be multiplayer only. Um, that went from a must buy to a maybe to me. Um,
Yeah.
I know you're a big fan, and I know you're gonna get it no matter what. So, what are your thoughts on it? Tell me. I want some. I want to be coerced into getting this.
Okay. So here's the thing about me versus you.
Mm,
I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and I don't know how big of a Star Wars fan you are, but I love it. And of course, I'm learning about this game solely because of Star Wars. But with the game being a multiplayer only game, that is a turnoff to me because I love campaigns. I love going through a story mode and just, doing that whole thing. And I don't appreciate the fact that this is a multiplayer only game because that's kind of why I got tired of Titanfall so quick.
right.
But the thing that was cool about Titanfall was the mode where you had to keep fighting other people. I can't think of the name of that mode. It's like a horde mode, basically.
They must have added that later. I don't remember that.
They
I have a
did.
season pass for that game. I need to re-download that.
Yeah, it came out for free, and I played it. I played the shit out of that game when they announced that mode. It was so fun.
Yeah.
And anyway, yeah, if you download it, I'll play it with you. But
Yeah. I mean, I got EA access, so I can download it anytime.
okay, but yeah, it was a really good game. I liked it. Um, but I just got tired of it so quick because of the whole multiplayer only thing. And they tried to put a story mode in there because the story mode on Titanfall is based on if you won or lost
Right.
multiplayer, which I thought was weird because I'm not that great at shooters. So needless to say, I didn't get the other side of the story.
Well,
But
no, go ahead.
what are you about to say?
Well, I mean, the story. I didn't lose any. I felt like it was. I don't know. Maybe it's just me playing it, but I didn't lose when I did mine. But they just did like it was just multiplayer battles, and then while it was doing the matchmaking, it talked to you. It tried to tell you a story. Like I don't know if it was like that for you or not, but
And I didn't even pay any attention. I was too busy trying to get my loadout straight.
yeah.
But don't want these burn cards or these burn cards, this gun, what I want on this Titan. I didn't have time to hear that, listen to that story.
Yeah, it was a crappy story. Yeah, yeah, that
Uh,
game. I'm excited if I mean because you know they're inevitably gonna do a sequel, so I'm excited about that. But please put a story mode in there. I don't care about the world unless you immerse me in it. I mean, it's the same way with Evolve. And the thing about these multiplayer games is I sometimes feel like this it feels like a free to play game to me because I'm like, man, I can download so many awesome free to play shooters or free to play games, not only on PC but on console now, and get kind of the same experience. Because on these multiplayer only games, they hit you with so much DLC, like so many microtransactions. Evolve was like that, where like to get a skin it was like $3. They were always like hustling you for for money, more money. And I was like, this should be a free to play game. It's gonna have all these transactions in it.
I agree.
Yeah.
I strongly agree, sir.
I'm
But
surprised
yeah,
about Evolve though, because you and Mike were really excited about Evolve, and lo and behold, I was the one that ended up getting it. I waited till it was like $5 before I got it though. To be fair.
yeah, I was really excited about the game, but what killed it for me was, oddly enough, the beta. I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna like this.
Well, you guys were in the alpha, I remember, right? So it was really rough when Mike was playing it.
Right.
Yeah, so it was really rough, like people falling through the stage and stuff. But you shouldn't judge games based on alphas. When I played it, it was really solid and it was actually really fun. But multiplayer only games, I'm not like I used to be where I have like my whole squad of gamers gaming with me all the time. Like when I was younger, I would have like set amount of friends that are gonna get with me and play this game with me at this time for this amount of time every day or every other day. We had like a plan, we had like a strategy. It's not like that anymore. I'm more of a single player gamer now, like a good story. Like I'm not, um, I think that's why I've been gaming less and less lately because a lot of the games I've been playing don't emphasize story. Like I've been playing Far Cry 4, which is a great game, but the emphasis is more on like the zany craziness than the actual storyline. Glenn, you look like you're going to sleep. You want to move on to the next story?
Yeah, I'm up. I was
Oh,
thinking about something, but yeah. So yeah, I just want more um, Uncharted like games, Tomb Raider type games, where they really focused on the campaign. Cause that was one of the reasons I quit playing Call of Duty because once multiplayer really kicked in and they realized that was their breadwinner, and it was like, hey, how would you like a multiplayer game that comes with a campaign, not a great game that comes with multiplayer? That's
I
when I
don't
was
know.
kind
I
of
disagree with you. I think their campaigns are like the most impressive thing about them. Like they're always over the top. They always put a lot of money into like who's in it. Like did you played the last one, right? Did you
no,
beat it?
no, 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 no. I'm saying like the newer Call of Duty
Hmm.
um, campaigns are the shit. I love them,
Yeah.
and it was a couple of the older Call of Duties to where I was kind of like, you put all your money in the multiplayer, didn't you?
I
But don't
like.
get me
I
wrong.
mean, go ahead.
I was gonna say, don't get me wrong. I always liked their campaigns. I just felt like there were a couple that could have been better, and I just felt like they really focused on the DLC, not DLC, but the multiplayer and the DLC more. Like I would like to see DLC for additional campaign.
Ooh, I
If
would like to see that too. Me
like
too.
that would be cool. But they're
Right.
never gonna do that.
I mean, they do put a lot, like they do the co-op thing now, and that has like story elements. I kind of regret getting rid of my Call of Duty. Like that's like I can't tell you how many times I've had people over and be like, "Man, I wish I had Call of Duty. We can actually like play that split screen right now." And that last one was really good.
Oh, yeah, that last
As
one was
far as how
great.
it felt. Yeah, you still have that game, right? You never traded your games.
I did trade mine in.
What, you traded in? Wow, you never trade your games in.
I traded it in for I don't remember what I traded it in for. But yeah, I did, and I don't regret it. But I beat the campaign like I wanted to. It was a great campaign. I played the multiplayer a little bit, got a couple of trophies, leveled up a little bit. I liked the game. It was fun.
Yeah, I feel
Speaking
you,
of
man.
that, speaking of which, there's actually a Call of Duty skin PS4 coming out. Did you see that?
Yes, I did see that. Nobody cares.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. But it's a thing and it's out there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Call of Duty is still huge. I mean, every year it's always the best selling game of whatever console it's coming out on. Um, so I mean, obviously it's still big, but I don't see why it's not. I don't know. We just fall for it every year. I'm getting Call of Duty Black Ops. It's funny too because I wasn't gonna get it until they did the refrigerator thing, and I was like, I need that refrigerator in my life. So now I'm getting Call of Duty Black Ops.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have the season pass and everything. So it's gonna be the first time I got a season pass on Call of Duty in a long time on PS4. Well, you should get it so we can co-op.
we'll see.
Anyways, yeah, Call of Duty.
Yeah, good old Call of Duty.
Yep. Are we ready to segue into our next topic yet?
Yes, we are, sir.
Cool.
And that next topic is our fall TV special, the moment you all been waiting for.
Yeah, so a lot of these shows, like a lot of the big shows, haven't dropped yet. Right, some of them are coming out next week. Some of them are coming out next month. It's like Ash versus Evil that doesn't come out till next month. So we're gonna kind of keep revolving into it. One thing I want to ask you about, Glenn, the show that I'm kind of interested in, that you kind of you were very excited about last time I spoke to you on the phone. How was Doctor Who?
Sir, it was like a birthday present. It was amazing. Man, like Doctor Who is, I think I've explained it before. Long story short, as a kid, I didn't like it, but now I do a lot. I'm like addicted. There's Doctor Who stuff all over my apartment. So I love Doctor Who, and it's amazing. And sadly, Clara is leaving. Clara is what's her real name? I'm trying to think of it. Jenna Louise Coleman. That's her real name. This is her last run as the companion, and Ariana Stark, and I do not remember her real name. She is going to be on Doctor Who eventually at some point this season. I'm not going to go into spoilers too much, but Doctor Who did go to Skaro, which is the homeland of the Daleks, on this episode. And the next episode is going to be insane, and I can't wait for it.
Me too. I can't wait for it either.
So, I mean, they just do such a good job. And the thing is, when you watch Doctor Who and you're invested in it, you kind of get attached to the characters, and then all the build up, it always pays off. Like Stephen Moffat does a good job with the payoff. Like when he writes Sherlock, it's amazing. When he does Doctor
He's the
Who,
writer.
huh?
He's the writer.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So he does Sherlock and Doctor Who, and both shows are
I'll be
amazing.
interested in this show since I watched Sherlock. Huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I would recommend watching. I would recommend starting from the beginning. By not the beginning, but by the beginning, I mean the 2005 and up series, not the older stuff, unless you really have the time and want to. Which brings me up to something completely different than our fall TV special. because I just thought this was funny. A lot of the time when people try to get a friend or relative or anybody into Doctor Who, they always show the same episode, and that episode is Blink. So what Netflix decided to do was make some sort of algorithm to try to predict what episode would get you addicted to the show.
Yeah,
So,
that's kind of. Oh, go ahead.
so let's say, for instance, like, what's a show that you watch, Sylvester, that I don't?
Man, I just marathoned the crap out of some Frasier. I love that show.
Okay, so if I was to say, okay, Sylvester, I don't think I would like Frasier, and then you say, all right, cool, check this out, watch this episode, and if this episode doesn't do it, it's not meant for you. Is
Right.
there an episode of Frasier that you can say that for?
You can watch any episode of Frasier because they're all awesome.
But yeah, so for instance, like they have a few lists, Arrow episode 8,
Right.
Breaking Bad episode 2, Dexter episode 3. I mean, they have like a long list
Yeah, I
of
was reading. Oh, go ahead.
are you about to say?
I was reading the list at work, and what they were kind of pointing out was people that binge watch shows and end up watching like the entire season. I mean, the entire like series. It's not always the first episode that hooks them. It's sometimes it's always an early episode, but it's not always the first episode. So it's kind of interesting because, like, for me, I keep flirting with what show is that everybody loves? Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
And on this little study, it was like episode 2, everybody's addicted to Breaking Bad, and I was like, really? I mean, I thought it was good, but it wasn't like, ooh, got to watch it. You know what I mean? Um, it's kind of interesting to look at people's habits. I like stuff like this because it amalgamates real data. Like, people talk about like the census box and whatnot, and it's like, oh, people watch this. Glenn, have you ever met somebody with a census box in their house?
I have not.
Me neither. So whenever people talk about ratings and stuff, I kind of laugh at it because I don't have a census box. I've never met anybody with a census box. So how can you tell me what I'm watching? You know
It's
what I mean?
probably like one per state,
Right.
like 50 of them out there.
Yeah, so they were like, "Oh, people from 18 to so and so like this," and I was like, "I know a lot of people. I've never met anybody with one of these in their house, but whatever." Um, yeah, so I kind of like studies like that where they just take the data straight from you know what you watch, and I think it probably will help them with their Netflix originals. It had a lot of shows on there that I like too, like Marco Polo and stuff like that. It shows how many episodes it takes before people really get into it.
Yep.
Yep.
But
Hey,
yeah, so
so Doctor Who was awesome. Anything else you watched that you want to talk about?
I did watch the Muppets. The Muppets was hilarious. So there was one particular joke, and I'm just going to go ahead and say it because it was pretty damn funny. Fozzie Bear had met a girl, a human girl, and he's like, I haven't dated a girl in a while. So he was like, the dating life is hard when you set up your online dating profile as affectionate bear looking for love. And then it was this awkward pause. And so it was pretty funny. I couldn't stop laughing at it. So there was another scene to where it was the mother, the father, the daughter, and Fozzie Bear just sitting down eating dinner, and they had made fish, and he really liked the fish. Then the dad was like, he likes catching it himself in the river. So I was like, damn, that's kind of messed up. And then so the dad was like, well, if you have kids, where would they go to the bathroom? In the woods? And then so Fozzie flipped out and said, that is a very offensive comment. I mean,
Right.
stereotype. Now, for those of you who don't get it, there's a phrase that says, "Does a bear shit in the woods?" Like if you say,
I don't think you have to explain the joke.
some people might not get it. So if you say, "Will a game that comes out this year have DLC?" You'll say, "Does a bear shit in the woods?" Meaning, yes, they will have it.
Right.
And I also watched Minority Report. Minority Report was pretty cool. I watched the movie. I love the movie. And I'm going to have to give this particular show at least two more episodes before I can say if it's something that will continue to take up space on my DVR or not.
But Megan Good is so hot.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. She is hot, and they did show her a lot, and I think they kind of overdid it with a few scenes with her in it. And the whole thing that was weird was the whole Batman crime scene, the
Yep.
deconstructor.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, hey, that came from Batman. What are you gonna do about that, Rocksteady? They kind of just took your idea.
I thought I watched Minority Report as well, and I really liked it. I'm definitely gonna give it a few more chances and see where it goes. It has that level of like mystery of what's gonna happen. It has the same level of interesting characters. I like the fact that it's like a whole new world. So I like that they kind of made some of the some modern day references. So they're like, oh, I like the classics, and they were talking about Iggy Azalea because it's a classic, I guess, by today's standards for some reason.
Yeah,
And it, um, the, her mom was saying, "Oh, I met your dad on Tinder back in my day. We had this thing called Tinder."
yeah, that
And
was pretty funny. I was gonna bring that up, but I'm glad you beat me to it because that was pretty funny. I got a good laugh out of that one.
yeah, so I mean, I thought it was good. I love it when there are intelligent people. That's all I'll say about that. Intelligent people on TV. So Megan Good's character is intelligent. Um, she's just so hot. I'm just, but I like it. I'm gonna check it out some more.
Yeah. So, oh, the other show I watched was Gotham. Now, a lot of people give Gotham shit, and I don't know why. Because, well, okay, I take it back. I do know why. Because I was one of those people before it came out, like, oh, I'm gonna shit on this. But when it came out, I was like, okay, good job. Round of applause. Good job. But
Yeah.
um,
Oh, go ahead.
but this season looks like it's going to turn out to be amazing. I like how they have the little Joker in there and Barbara Gordon, and I just really can't wait to see where this goes. And they also mentioned that they are going to introduce the Court of Owls. I really like the Court of Owls in the comic book, and if they bring them into this world, I think that's going to be pretty cool.
Right.
And the only thing that was a letdown for me, I'm not going to give any spoilers for those who haven't seen it, but well, I'm not going to say it because if I say that, that's technically a spoiler. Well, no,
Well,
it's
I'm
not.
about to talk about something that might be a spoiler. So,
Okay, I'll just go for it then. So basically, they got into when they discovered Bruce Wayne's dad's study, Thomas Wayne's study in the basement. They got in there, and it was a little underwhelming what happened. Maybe they're gonna get more into it, but I was like, I thought it was gonna be something crazy back there.
right. Well, I mean, they only opened the letter that was down there, so there may be more down there. Um, yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting. I don't know if that's gonna be like the beginning of the Batcave or not, but who knows? Who knows? One thing I wanted to talk about was, you know, historically, Barbara is gonna be, um, you know, what's his face, his wife, right? What's the cop's name?
Jim, Jim
Yeah, this is
Gordon.
gonna be Jim Gordon's wife. So with the dark path that she's going down now, I'm like, how is she ever gonna redeem herself? She's basically like Harley Quinn. And I'm not knocking it because I'm sure a lot of fans are like, this isn't the Barbara Gordon we know. F this. I mean, I fully encourage them to try new stuff. This episode was definitely more interesting than anything than some of the other episodes I've seen last season because it was getting kind of boring to be honest. um, but this one was interesting. Gordon had a very tough decision to make, and I think everybody should watch it to see what happened. Um, and if they keep that momentum going, I think they'll be in an interesting place. I think they know they have a lot to lose, so they're gonna take more risk because this is one of those shows that they didn't know if they would renew it or not because the ratings kind of slid a little bit. So hopefully they are, just gonna go all out and do some cool stuff. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, I think they will, man. I mean, because like you know how after the show when they show like the little trailer coming up this season, It looks like it's going down in that city,
Yeah.
and I can't
I
wait to
mean,
see how it all unravels.
right. It has to be like that for the show to. I mean, Gotham is crazy. You know, Saint Gotham is St. Louis. You know, there's always some kind of crazy stuff going on. So, um, you, in order to justify a mass vigilante, you gotta have these crazy, over the top bad guys all over the place doing crazy stuff. Um, what was I going to talk about? Oh, I watched a show called Blind Spot, which to all my nerds out there, you may know the young lady from this show as Lady Sif from Thor. Um, funny thing about this too, Glenn, you were talking about how you didn't like how Megan Good was presented um, in Minority Report, but imagine Blind Spot because the main character she was pretty naked through like half of that whole episode. Um, so yeah, they're just like, yeah, look at that. Yeah, you like that, don't you? It got kind of pervy, but it's a good show. A lot of mysterious aspects. For those of you that haven't seen the trailers, and I don't see how you haven't because they're everywhere. Like I don't even watch TV traditionally, and I knew all about this show. Um, it's basically about a amnesiac girl played by Jamie Alexander, who is Lady Sif from Thor and Agents of Shield, and she's put in a duffel bag in Times Square, and she has tattoos all over her body, but she doesn't know why. She has these skills; she can speak other languages, but she doesn't know why or how or what she is. But the tattoos all over her body basically unveil clues. So they basically stopped a terrorist hunt. A terrorist plot. So interesting stuff. I look forward to seeing what's going to happen with her and that character because the things that they're doing. I don't want to spoil too much, but it could go one or two ways, and I'm very excited about where it could go. Man, Glenn, you look like you're going to sleep.
I'm good. It's just late. For those of you who are curious on how late it is, it's 2:07 a.m. So, but yeah, there is one more show I did want to talk about, and all I have to say is watch South Park. They killed it this season for the first two episodes, and it's only going to get funnier.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, South Park's amazing. Like, I can't believe they took it there last night. I'll tell you about it off air, but they really took it there to South Park. Like, I did not think they were going to go that far because they pushed the envelope. They're like, oh, they're not going to do that. Whatever. They're not going to do that. Then they mess around and do it, and it kills it. And I'll tell you why I don't really want to talk about it on the podcast. But
It must be really bad.
yeah, you have Hulu. I recommend watching it.
Okay, I will. Before we move on and wrap this up, I just wanted to say that this is just episode one of the whole seed fall show thing. Last year we covered the shows pretty well, talk about finales and mid-season finales and whatnot, and we'll be doing the same this year. There's a lot of awesome shows coming up. A lot of them we'll be watching, like The Flash, Agents of Shield, Arrow, um, and I'm sure one of us will be watching Ash versus Evil Dead, right?
Yeah, I'd definitely be watching Ash vs. Evil Dead,
Oh,
Arrow.
did you watch Heroes Reborn?
I did not.
What the hell, dude?
I'll tell you about that later. But I didn't watch it and I will. Also, Scandal. I admit I watch it. I can't help it. It's so funny.
Oh,
It's,
nothing's wrong with watching Scandal. I watched Mindy show, and I didn't think that was embarrassing till I was watching an interview of Mindy talking about the show. And the guy that was interviewing was like, "Hey, I'm a big fan of your show," and she was like, "Oh, thanks. You're the only straight guy that watches it." And I was like, "Hey, I'm straight and I watch it. At least I think I'm straight. Am I gay?" So yeah,
you know,
interesting
come
stuff.
out like Eminem on
Yeah,
the interview.
right. But yeah, interesting stuff. By the way, that's a pretty good show if you guys are interested in it. Indie show. due to Hulu. Because Fox dropped it. Good first 2 episodes so far.
Cool.
Yep. Anyways, did you have anything you wanted to wrap? Oh, Brooklyn Nine-Nine is coming out Sunday. The Sunday block on Fox is gonna be ridiculous. I look forward to it.
Wait, you watched it?
Oh yeah, I watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So I'm looking forward to this one because they have a new police chief and Family Guy. I don't watch Bob Burgers, but everybody keeps telling me to give it a second chance. So I'll probably give it a second chance.
Bob's Burgers is pretty good. It's funny.
I'll give it a second chance. I didn't watch. I watched like the first 2 episodes and was like, sucks. So we'll see what happens. Oh, and Glenn, I know you watched a little bit of the show last year. Are you gonna be watching Sleepy Hollow again?
Uh, I only watched. Actually, I didn't watch any of it. I watched like half the first episode, and that was it.
Oh, really? I could have sworn maybe that was Mike. I watched a little bit of it. I really liked the show. I just got lost. Like it was so many shows that it just got kind of lost in the shuffle. And I think
It's
maybe you
overwhelming.
over my copies. So yeah, that starts October 1st. The new season of Sleepy Hollow. I want to see the. I hope that it goes to like Netflix or something so I can catch myself up on it because I really like the show from what I watched. I just they don't make it easy on demand. Like on demand, they should have every episode, not the last 3 episodes. That's not how you get addicted to shows. It's dumb.
Right. I kind of want to get into the other show that everybody's watching, Empire, but I have to catch up on that.
Right.
But I'd rather catch up on Blackish first.
Blackish, isn't that the Anthony Anderson show?
Yep.
That's a show you can watch casually. Like I watched that show on and off, and since it's kind of sitcom you're not really missing out on anything by watching it on your own. It's kind of cool. I like it. That's yeah. I like it. I don't watch it like religiously, but I probably see it like twice a month.
Cool.
Good poor thing. All right, so guys, I want to thank you guys for coming out. Um, I'm not gonna do that big old list of people. Thank you to our
Shout
sponsor
out.
site, STL Tech Talk, and let's see, I'll try to remember some of them. STL Bar Wars, that's War with a Z. What? Anything else? Um, this is Mike's specialty. Hope nobody's offended that I didn't give him a shout out. Anyways, thank you for
Shout out
coming.
to Mike.
Yeah, shout out to Mike. Mike's gonna be back next episode, hopefully. Uh, he's he's indisposed. That's all I'll say. Anyways, yeah. Glenn, do you have anything to say before we go bye bye?
I sure don't. I'm about to go to sleep.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
All right. Well, thanks again for coming out. You guys have an excellent whatever day it is for you. Boom.
All right, you guys have a good night. Well, good day or whenever you're listening.